Welcome back to the world of mystery. Tonight we journey deep into the heart of ancient folklore, to a place where architecture and superstition collide. We are going to one of Europe's most legendary and feared structures, the Devil's Bridge. It's a name that echoes through the valleys and mountains of the continent, a sinister title given to dozens of ancient bridges. These are structures born from impossibility, often spanning treacherous gorges with arches so delicate they seem to defy the physics known to their builders. To the medieval mind, such a feat couldn't be mortal work. It had to be a pact, a bargain struck with the ultimate architect of deceit. But of all these diabolical creations, one stands alone in its haunting perfection, the Rakotsbrücke in Kromlau, Germany. Commissioned in 1860 by a local knight, Friedrich Hermann Rötschke, it was intended not for passage but for contemplation, a work of art embedded in nature. Its construction was a monumental undertaking. Jagged basalt columns were painstakingly quarried and transported from distant mountains in Switzerland and Bohemia, then meticulously arranged by human hands. Yet the bridge's unearthly beauty and impossible geometry gave birth to a story far darker than any mere engineering project. Look closely. The delicate arch of the bridge was designed with breathtaking precision. When the waters of the Rákóczi Lake are still, its reflection joins the stone above to form a perfect, unbroken circle. It is a flawless stone eye, staring out from the landscape. This is the source of its power, the illusion of a portal, a gateway to something beyond our comprehension. The sight is so uncanny, so mesmerizing. It feels less like an accident of architecture and more like a deliberate tear in the fabric of our world. And it is this perfection that cemented its ominous legend, that no mortal could ever conceive of such a flawless structure without guidance from a mind far more ancient, powerful, and dangerously cunning. The legend, whispered for over a century, claims the ambitious builder, desperate to create a masterpiece that would echo through eternity, summoned the devil himself. The bargain was struck on a moonless night. The devil would lend his supernatural skill to complete the bridge in a single night, a task that would take mortals years. In return, the Prince of Darkness demanded a steep price, the soul of the very first living thing to cross the finished span. As a storm raged only over that small patch of land, the devil worked, stone grinding against stone with unnatural speed. By dawn, the bridge stood complete, a chilling monument to their unholy agreement. And as the sun rose, the devil emerged from the shadows to claim his due. But the builder had a plan. They lured a dog to be the first to run across. The devil, cheated of his prize, roared in fury and vanished, but not before leaving his mark. The bridge was cursed. Some say the animal's terrified soul is still trapped within the stones. Others believe the devil's rage infused the very air, leaving an aura that never fades. Travelers describe the same unsettling feeling. The air grows cold, the forest falls silent, and the reflection in the water seems to writhe with a life of its own, as if the portal he created remains permanently ajar. Those who linger too long report hearing things, low whispers that seem to ride the breeze, calling their name, making promises of wealth, knowledge, or reunion with those they have lost. It is a siren's call, tempting them to step onto the forbidden path. And yet, very few dare. The bridge is now closed to foot traffic, officially to preserve it, but perhaps for other reasons too. Even before it was closed, locals noted that animals would refuse to approach, planting their feet, whining, their instincts screaming a warning that their human companions could not perceive. Of course, science offers a rational explanation, masterful 19th century romanticism and geometry. Some even theorized the legend was a clever fabrication to protect the fragile bridge, as it was built as art, not a functional crossing. The terrifying tale would ensure few would risk walking on it. But legends aren't so easily erased by logic, especially when visitors return with stories they cannot explain. Strange lights in the forest, phantom footsteps, a suffocating pressure in the chest that lifts only once they leave the bridge behind. It is said that at night, under the light of a full moon, the portal's illusion is at its most powerful. The perfect circle seems to hum with a latent energy, pulsing softly as if it were the heartbeat of the earth itself. It dares you to step through. Folklore warns that if you stare too long, the reflection can change. It might show a twisted version of your face, or a sky of burning red. Your thoughts drift, no longer your own, and you may lose all sense of time, as if the devil's bargain is still active, waiting for a curious soul to pay the price. The Rakot's brick is more than stone and legend. It is a manifestation of our dance with the unknown, the allure of the forbidden, the temptation to peek behind reality's veil. It stands as a monument to genius and a warning against hubris, a place where myth and reality bleed together. The questions linger in the misty air. If the devil built this bridge, is he still watching, waiting for another soul to cross? Is the price for perfection still waiting to be paid? And the most terrifying question, if the reflection is a portal, what or who is looking back from the other side?